Hey, I'm Tommy Cleddy. I'm here at the Music Zoo in New York, and I wanted to talk about this guitar. A friend of mine who's a vintage guitar collector called me and said, I don't really understand why you would like this, but I know that you're gonna like it. I know that you're gonna love it. He says, it's a Kramer, but it's owned by Eddie, and you should probably give it a look. I've been a Van Halen fan since, I guess, the first record came out. I was a Kiss fan originally, and then I think it was Running with the Devil, and I was like, what is that? And then I heard Eruption afterwards, which was the track right after Running with the Devil, and completely lost my mind and tried to decide whether I should quit playing guitar and go back to playing shortstop or continue playing guitar for a while. So I went to check out the guitar, and interesting story, it was actually owned by Vitas Gerulaitis. So Vitas Gerulaitis, famous tennis star, celebrity, his heyday was around the same time that John McEnroe was around, and both New York guys as well. And Eddie was touring with this guitar and gave it to him after a performance, I believe it was the Garden, 82, 83. And he had toured with the guitar for a bunch of years, gave it to Vitas. Vitas had it in his guitar collection. He was a closet guitar player. And tragically, in the early 90s, Vitas passed away. Vitas had a bunch of guitars. He had guitars from Bruce Springsteen and Keith Richards. And I guess apparently, like being a tennis star, you go to gigs, you meet famous people and celebrities and stuff like that, and people were giving him guitars. And so he ended up with this one and many others. So some of the cool stuff on this guitar is his original Frankenstein actually had the humbucking pickup, and then he had it sort of wired in a way where like some of the parts were still in it. So here's a selector switch that's just set to one position, and I believe that the single coil pickup still works, although I've never actually tried it. Another part of this guitar is he took a full Strat pickguard and just cut it down, because the pickguard would cover most of the body, and just covered what he needed, just so he could cover the control cavity and get a volume knob on there. And if I spin the guitar over, back here, there's some road wear on it, there's some tape on it where he actually stuck his guitar picks. There's little things that would be very Eddie. There's a Van Halen pick stuck inside between the neck and the body. And back in those days, performance was everything, and they would jump off the drum riser. David Lee Roth, Michael Anthony, and Eddie Van Halen, and when they jumped off the drum riser, the neck on the guitar would shift a little bit and the guitar would go out of tune. So what he did was put 6 bolts. Normally this would have 4 bolts on the outside. He put in another couple of bolts to kind of keep everything stable. So he did all this weird stuff to it to kind of make it work for him. And really only him, like there's really only one Eddie Van Halen. He's, to me, changed the sound and dynamics of rock guitar from 1978 on, and arguably nobody since Eddie has come to surpass what he's done on the electric guitar. Surely Jimi Hendrix, obviously before him, but Eddie's certainly made his place in music history. I'm a huge fan of just about everything he's done, and his playing style, and I think this guitar is just absolutely awesome. And it's a piece of history.